Good morning. This is Ankamed Kaf with TradeOutloud.com. Today is Friday, September 9th, 2016, and it is 9:51 a.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to the pre-market game plan for major future indices, gold and oil. This morning we're going to start with NQ. We have, first of all, note the fact that we're trading December's contract starting last night at after the close. We switched to the new contract. And what we've noticed is that we had a sell-off in the extended session and we're approaching support area. Please note that 4749.50 is the ultimate support area for NQ, and this is also a major support area on the daily chart. If this area will be violated, we have room to continue lower all the way to 4682. So that would be the next support area. Even 4,700. So please note that we are bearish. We're starting to look a little bit bearish because we are testing these lows. However, a bounce would be possible around this area. So extreme caution for today, especially for a Friday, and the fact that we are trading in a relative low volume environment today. So this move down came in relative low volume. So again, I'm going to be very cautious. I'm going to look for this area to see if we're going to fall another 10 points to 47.50 area, 47.49. Please note this is the low. And the game plan for today is to wait and see the reaction. So I'm not going to do anything aggressive today like in any other day. First off, after this major sell-off, we might expect a bounce at the New York session. If the sell-off is going to be very strong, then we're going to look for a consolidation and a calibration of price before continuing back lower. And remember, there's still room to continue lower, and further targets for day trading are going to be considered 47.40 and 47.20. These are going to be the targets, and remember, there is an ultimate target at 4,700. I don't know if it's going to go there today, but what I'm seeing from the charts right now is that if we don't hold this position, we have room to continue lower. However, if we hold this 50 area, 47.50 area, we might have a bounce. Now, everything is going to be based on this bounce. If we're going to get a strong bounce all the way into 47.80, then that's going to be the line in the sand, because if we're going to range in this area and try to break higher, we have another attempt at the 4,800 number. But if not, this is going to be the ceiling. So any bounce into 47.80 area, if we're going to get a bounce all the way into this area, remember, extreme caution, because this area might also be a ceiling of resistance, and this might be the next shortable area. So keep that in mind. Moving to YM. Okay, so we have a new contract here as well. And this is for all these market indices. We broke hourly support level at 18,300. So we also broke daily support right here at 18,300. The next level of support that we have is going to be at 18,175. So it's quite a long way into that area. But at the same time, please note that if we violate one of these major support areas, we have the tendency to pull in more. So again, today is going to be a very difficult day. You cannot go on and shorting after you had like 4, 5, 6 consecutive hours of selling. And we're going to expect some kind of profit taking that is going to probably drive price a little bit higher. If we're going to get a bounce, I'm going to look at this 80 area to see if it holds. If this 18 to 80 area is going to hold, look for 18,300 and a bounce all the way into 18,350. Again, I'm not sure this is going to happen because there are no clear signals on the chart so far. If the scenario after the New York Open will be that if we're going to have a weak bounce into 18,300, if this is going to be the ceiling, like I said, we have room to continue lower all the way into 18,150 area, and most probably it's going to be 18,200 first, and then we're going to move lower. But again, this is going to be the line of the sand. The fact that we have been basing for such a long time, and actually for the whole month, almost for the whole month of August, and we have tried and we have actually made a new high. This pullback is not necessarily a bad thing, because this pullback is going to offer us some new amazing opportunities moving forward into a more volatile week next week and throughout September. So this is going to be the game plan for YM. Let's move to ES. And ES has pretty much the same price action. We have a new contract. We had a consolidation. At 1 o'clock, we started selling off, and we have continued to sell off. So pretty much we are into the same scenario as the other indices. We're testing daily support levels right here. 2154.75 is the support area on the daily chart as well. And this came in from September 1st. If this area is going to hold, so the 2150 area is going to hold, we might see a bounce off this area. How strong of a bounce we're going to get depends on the market, and if we're going to get a weak bounce, we're most probably going to see more downside correction to it, and we have the next target into 2140 for ES. Again, for today, I'm not going to reach a decision right now. I'm going to wait for the New York session open, and I'm going to focus on small time frame charts. Remember, after so many hours of selling, there can be some profit taking, and especially into 10 o'clock or perhaps into all the way into 11:30. I expect trading to be rather difficult after this afternoon and for the rest of the day. So very careful trading for the rest of the day. It's going to be super hard. Okay, so that is with ES. Let's take a look at CL, and the pit is about to open in about 2 minutes. We had a sell situation here as well. Price is residing right now at $46.50 for the support area. If we're going to get a bounce off this area, we have a shot at going back up to $47. And if we hold weekly this area, we might pull back into the $46 area. Again, this is a very strong congestion area of support right here, from $46 all the way to $46.50 approximate. So this is going to be our cushion area. If we're going to get a bounce, we're going to get a bounce from these areas. If price is going to continue bleeding all the way into this area, then we have more room for the downside. And let's take a look at GC as well. So again, today it's going to be one of those days that you're better off sitting on your hands and watching the market. I'm not sure I'm going to be very aggressive today in the market. For GC, we had again a sell-off in the extended session. We've opened with a flurry up all the way into 1341 area, testing this area, and price came back down all the way to 3139. And again, the clue here, the clue for GC is if 1342 is going to be a ceiling, so please note that 1342 for ceiling of resistance, we might come in more. So again, if price is going to be rejected at 1342 level, you expect more downside. How far of a downside? Again, it's going to be a little bit tough, but 1330, this is the area for continuation. So if we're going to get a weak price movement in this area, we're going to continue lower all the way into this area. So actually gold might be my favorite trade, let's say, for today. The indices are a little bit tough for a signal as of right now when I'm doing the pre-market game plan. We're probably going to have more clarity as we're going to move into the first 10 to 15 minutes of the New York session, and that's going to give us the clue whether we're going to move higher or lower. But so far, gold looks like it really wants to come in a little more. So this is going to be the clue right here. Ceiling of resistance 40. So this is probably what you would probably use for a stop of 1341 and 1340, 1339 for an entry. We're going to look back down again. If you decide to wait for the 1336 area. 1336 area, place a stop, most probably 1337.50, and wait for it to trigger. Just don't get in. And then I'm going to look for follow through all the way into 1331, 1330. So this is probably going to be on my watch for today. And as well, I'm going to watch YM and NQ, which are going to remain on my watch. You know what? Let's take a look at DX. DX is the dollar index futures. And for DX, the reason why I'm looking at it is because, and I know we haven't included this much in our analysis, but we're getting a move higher. We're testing an area of resistance right here into 95.30. We had a really big push up. If we consolidate strong, we might see a reversal, and it's really trying to reverse onto the daily chart. So this is very interesting scenario right here, 95.27, and it has room to run into 95.50, so around this area. But again, wait for a pullback on this. This is a little bit interesting because it has been basing here from about 8 a.m. I would say, yeah, 8:15, 95.13 for support, resistance 95.20, and it's popping a little higher. If we're going to get a pullback into 95.20 area, we might expect more upside. So watch this area right here, 95.20 for a pullback, for a continuation higher. So you're waiting for the price to come in a little bit. So this is not an entry right here. Wait for it to come in a little bit, and your stop is going to be under 19.15. So that's a really tight stop. Targets, look for it to continue into 30, 40. And 50 area. This is going to be another very, very strong area where it could either turn around or break through it. This was all for today. I wish you all have a great profitable weekend, profitable trade, and an amazing weekend. See you on Monday.